We live in a culture obsessed with action. Hustle harder, do more, chase faster. But what if everything you know about manifestation is completely inverted? What if the reason your desires haven't materialized isn't because you're not doing enough, but because you're doing too much from the wrong frequency? The quantum field doesn't reward effort. It responds to alignment. It mirrors your electromagnetic signature, not your to-do list. Here's what teachers like Joe Dispenza, Neville Goddard, and Abraham Hicks have been saying for decades, yet most people miss it entirely. The secret to manifestation is so simple, so obvious, that it's hiding in plain sight. We walk past it every single day because our ego convinces us that transformation must be complicated. We're conditioned to believe that if it's not hard, it can't be real. But the unified field operates on one principle: coherence. When your inner state matches your desired reality, when your vibration resonates with what you're calling in, the universe has no choice but to collapse the wave and deliver. This isn't about wishful thinking or toxic positivity. This is about understanding how consciousness interacts with the quantum field, how your emotional state creates your electromagnetic signature, and why living from the end isn't just a nice idea, it's the only way manifestation actually works. The people who've mastered this aren't special or chosen. They simply stopped overcomplicating what was always meant to be effortless. You know, there's this moment I'll never forget. I was sitting in my small apartment, staring at my bank account, feeling this heavy weight in my chest. I'd been doing all the manifestation techniques, saying affirmations, visualizing abundance, but nothing was changing. Then it hit me like a lightning bolt. My words were saying one thing, but my entire electromagnetic signature was broadcasting something completely different. I was out of tune with what I wanted, and the quantum field was responding to my actual vibration, not my wishful thinking. That's when I understood what coherence really means. It's the alignment between your inner state and the reality you're calling in, and without it, you're just making noise in the unified field. Think of coherence like a perfectly tuned guitar. When every string vibrates at its intended frequency, you get beautiful music that resonates through the room. But if even one string is off, the whole song feels wrong, doesn't it? That's exactly what happens with manifestation. Your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions need to be in energetic alignment, creating one consistent signal. The observer effect in quantum physics shows us that reality literally responds to our state of being, not just our desires. When there's coherence between what you think, feel, and believe, you collapse the wave of infinite possibilities into the specific timeline you're choosing. It's not magic, it's physics meeting consciousness in the most profound way. Most people don't realize they're walking around in complete incoherence. They want love, but feel unworthy. They desire abundance, but live in constant scarcity mindset. They talk about trust, but operate from fear and control. The quantum field doesn't hear your words. It reads your energetic consistency, your emotional state, your neuroplasticity patterns. When you say, "I'm abundant," while your heart races with anxiety about bills, you're broadcasting two different frequencies simultaneously. It's like trying to drive forward with one foot on the gas and the other on the brake. The field responds to what you are, not what you say you want. And this is where most manifestation attempts fall apart before they even begin. Here's what changed everything for me. I stopped trying to convince the universe and started becoming the person who already had what I wanted. Instead of begging for money, I calibrated my inner state to match someone who trusted abundance completely. I practiced feeling grateful for resources before they arrived, embodying certainty rather than hope. Within weeks, opportunities appeared that weren't there before. Not because I tried harder, but because my electromagnetic signature had shifted into coherence with my desires. The synchronicities started flowing naturally, almost effortlessly. But here's the thing most people miss, and what I'm about to share next will completely shift how you understand why your manifestations haven't worked until now. Let's make this crystal clear with something everyone understands. Radio frequencies. Imagine you're desperately trying to listen to your favorite station on 97.7 FM, but your radio is tuned to 88.1. You can want that music as badly as possible. You can visualize the songs. You can even talk about how much you love that station. But guess what? You won't hear a single note until you actually turn the dial to 97.7. The station is broadcasting perfectly. It's always been there in the quantum field of radio waves. The problem isn't the station, it's your receiver. This is exactly what happens with manifestation. The abundance, the love, the success you want exists right now in superposition, waiting for you to match its frequency and collapse the wave into your experience. Here's another way to see it that'll really hit home. Stand in front of a mirror and try to change your reflection without changing your face. Go ahead, tell the mirror to smile while you're frowning. Demand that it show you confidence while you're slouching in fear. Ridiculous, right? Yet this is precisely what most people do with the universe. They want their external reality, their external mirror, to shift while they maintain the same inner state, the same emotional patterns, the same vibrational signature they've always had. The field responds to what you are, not what you wish you were. Your outer world is nothing but a reflection of your inner world, and until you change the face you're showing the quantum field, the reflection stays exactly the same. Now here's where it gets really interesting, and this is something that completely transformed how I approached manifestation. The quantum field doesn't speak English, Portuguese, or any human language. It doesn't process your affirmations or carefully crafted vision boards. What it reads is pure vibration, pure frequency, pure resonance. When you say, "I am wealthy but feel anxious," the field picks up the anxiety frequency and brings you more situations that match that electromagnetic signature. It's not being cruel or testing you, it's being precise. Think of it like ordering food at a restaurant. If your words say salad, but your energetic order says pizza, the universe serves you pizza every single time because energy doesn't lie. This is why so many people feel frustrated with manifestation techniques. They're focusing on changing the station without touching the dial. They're yelling at the mirror instead of changing their expression. They're speaking one language while the field responds to another. But here's the beautiful part. Once you understand this, once you really get that alignment and coherence are everything, the whole game changes. And what I'm about to reveal next will show you exactly how science proves this isn't just spiritual theory, but measurable, repeatable reality that you can apply starting today. There's real science behind why manifestation works, and understanding it changed everything for me. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, proves that when you mentally rehearse a desired reality, your brain literally creates new neural pathways, as if that experience already happened. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research shows that the brain doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you sit down and feel yourself living in abundance, feeling the gratitude and certainty of having what you desire, your neurons fire in the exact same pattern they would if it were actually happening. You're not pretending, you're programming. You're building the neural infrastructure for your new reality before it manifests, and that changes your automatic responses, decisions, and the energetic signal you broadcast into the quantum field. I'll be honest with you. When I first heard about the observer effect in quantum physics, I thought it sounded too good to be true. But then I started studying the actual experiments, like the famous double-slit experiment, and my mind was blown. Scientists discovered that subatomic particles exist in superposition, all possible states at once, until they're observed. The act of observation, of focused attention with expectation, literally collapses infinite possibilities into one specific reality. Now apply that to your life. When you observe your desired outcome with confident knowing rather than desperate hoping, you're not just wishing, you're collapsing the wave function. Your perception, backed by certainty and emotional clarity, acts as the observer that pulls specific timelines from the vortex of infinite potential into your three-dimensional experience. Here's where the chemistry gets fascinating, and this is something I wish I'd understood years ago. Your emotional state isn't just a feeling, it's a chemical cocktail that changes your entire electromagnetic signature. When you genuinely feel gratitude, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, the same chemicals released when good things actually happen to you. When you embody joy and trust, your body produces oxytocin, which opens you to connection and synchronicity. But here's what most people miss. When you live in anxiety, stress, and scarcity thinking, you flood your system with cortisol and adrenaline, chemicals designed for survival, not creation. You literally become addicted to these stress chemicals, and your body starts craving the problems that produce them. Your state base becomes lack, and the field responds by giving you more experiences that match that frequency, because energetically, that's what you're asking for. The beautiful thing is, once you understand this science, manifestation stops being some mystical concept and becomes a practical tool. You're not hoping the universe hears you. You're using neuroplasticity to rewire your brain, applying the observer effect to collapse possibilities and managing your emotional chemistry to broadcast the right frequency. It's repeatable, it's measurable, and it works whether you believe in it or not, because it's based on how consciousness and matter actually interact. But knowing the science is only half the battle. What really matters is seeing how this plays out in real life, and that's exactly what I'm about to share with you next. Let me take you back to one of the darkest periods of my life, because this is where everything I'm teaching you became real for me. I was drowning in financial anxiety, checking my bank account multiple times a day like it would magically change. Every bill that arrived felt like a personal attack, and I'd lie awake at night running worst-case scenarios through my mind. I was doing affirmations, vision boards, all the manifestation stuff, but my reality kept getting worse. Then one day it hit me. I wasn't manifesting abundance, I was manifesting more scarcity because that's what I was living in emotionally. My entire electromagnetic signature was tuned to lack. The quantum field was simply responding to my actual vibration, giving me exactly what I was embodying, more reasons to feel anxious about money. I was the living proof that you attract, not chase. And I was chasing from a place of desperation. The shift happened when I stopped trying to get abundance and started practicing being abundant. I know that sounds simple, maybe even too simple, but hear me out. Instead of affirming I will have money, I started living from the end, feeling what it would be like to already have financial freedom. Every morning I'd sit for 20 minutes and mentally rehearse my day as someone who trusted the universe completely, someone who knew money flowed easily. I'd feel the relief, the gratitude, the certainty in my body, not just think about it. Within 2 weeks, and I'm not exaggerating, I got a freelance opportunity I hadn't even applied for. A month later, an old debt someone owed me was suddenly repaid out of nowhere. These weren't coincidences, they were synchronicities responding to my new energetic alignment. The field had always been ready to deliver. I just needed to become the vibrational match. I've seen this same pattern play out with countless others. There's a woman in one of my communities who spent years trying to manifest a relationship while feeling deeply unworthy of love. She'd go on dates with her heart-brain coherence completely out of sync, wanting connection, but broadcasting unworthiness. Every relationship ended the same way until she did the inner work to embody self-love first. She stopped looking for someone to complete her and started feeling complete on her own. 6 months later, she met her partner, but here's the key. She met him when she no longer needed him to feel whole. That's divine alignment. That's what happens when your inner state matches your desire. The universe doesn't respond to need or desperation. It responds to resonance and magnetic attraction from a place of already being. The common thread in every manifestation success story is this: the external mirror shifted only after the internal reality changed. People who manifest health stop identifying as sick and start embodying wellness. Those who attract wealth stop living in scarcity consciousness and calibrate to abundance. It's not about faking it. It's about genuine energetic consistency between what you want and who you're being right now. Your assumption becomes your reality because the quantum field is always becoming the sign of whatever frequency you're holding. And here's what most people don't realize: the simplest truth that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time. Here's the paradox that keeps most people stuck. The ego craves complexity because simple solutions feel too easy to be real. We've been conditioned to believe that transformation requires struggle, that manifestation needs complicated rituals, specific moon phases, or secret formulas only gurus know. But the quantum field doesn't care about any of that. It responds to one thing: your vibrational frequency, your emotional state, your energetic alignment. The secret has always been simple: feel it, believe it, live as if it's already done. That's it. No fancy ceremonies, no expensive courses, just pure coherence between your inner world and your desired reality. The simplicity is what makes it invisible. We walk right past the answer because we're searching for something harder, something that makes us feel like we've earned it. Think about it. You've probably heard "live from the end" 1,000 times, right? But have you actually done it consistently? Most people hear it, nod along, and then go right back to living from lack. They wake up feeling anxious, spend their day reacting to problems, and go to bed worrying about tomorrow. Then they wonder why nothing changes. The practice isn't complicated. Every single day, you sit down and feel what it's like to already have your desire. You don't visualize getting it. You embody having it. You write in your journal as if it already happened. "I'm so grateful my business generated $10,000 this month." Not "I hope" or "I will," present tense, already done. You practice this feeling until your nervous system believes it, until your electromagnetic signature matches it, until the field responds because you've become the thing itself. Let me give you some practical tools that actually work when you commit to them. First, emotional calibration practice. Set a timer for 10 minutes every morning and feel, really feel, the emotions of your manifestation being complete. If it's abundance, feel the relief and freedom. If it's love, feel the warmth and connection. Let those chemicals flood your system until they become your new baseline. Second, mental rehearsal. Before bed, replay your next day as your desired self would experience it. See yourself making decisions from certainty, not fear. Notice how different choices appear when you're aligned. Third, energetic consistency check. Throughout your day, pause and ask, am I in resonance with what I want right now, or am I reinforcing the old pattern? This awareness alone will shift 80% of your manifestation blocks because you'll catch yourself broadcasting the wrong frequency. The beauty is that once you embrace this simplicity, once you stop overcomplicating and just commit to feeling as if, to trusting, to surrendering control and allowing the field to respond, everything shifts. You start noticing the 333 synchronicities, the intuitive hits that guide you, the timeline jumps that seem miraculous but are actually just coherence in action. The gamma coherence between your heart and brain creates a magnetic pull that the unified field cannot ignore. You're not chasing anymore. You're attracting from a resonance node of complete alignment. And when you finally get this, when you really live it every single day, your entire reality becomes proof that the simplest truth was always the most powerful one. So, here's what it all comes down to. Manifestation isn't about pushing reality into submission, it's about tuning your frequency to match what already exists in the quantum field. Every possible version of your life is already there in superposition, waiting for you to become the observer who collapses it into form. Remember the radio? You don't create the station, you just dial into its frequency. Remember the mirror? You don't change the reflection, you change your face. That's all manifestation is, adjusting your inner state, your vibration, your electromagnetic signature until you're in perfect resonance with the reality you desire. The moment you stop chasing and start embodying, the moment you live from the end with complete certainty and trust, manifestation becomes natural, effortless, inevitable. You're no longer begging the universe, you're simply allowing what's already yours to find you. This is divine alignment. This is coherence in action. Now here's what I want from you. If this resonated, if something clicked, drop 333 in the comments as a sign of your energetic alignment with this truth. Share your manifestation experiences below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if you're ready to go deeper into this work, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we're just getting started. The next video will show you how to break the observer loop and watch reality shift instantly. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.